So my client Piers posted a video of himself just casually rocking up to the gym and doing a 192.5 kilo RDL in his work clothes because he forgot to take his gym gear with him. And of course, whenever you post anything that's pretty impressive, you get all the wee virgins coming at you in the comments. And we've got a few belters here of people claiming that it's not an RDL. Now, reason number one it's not an RDL apparently is because the bar touches the ground. Now, I do not know any exercise that you can do that doing an increased range of motion makes the exercise easier. Now, I could understand if you're doing an RDL, if there's a big massive bounce that you just create momentum, or even if the bar went dead. He's actually made the exercise harder for himself by going all the way to the ground. But apparently that actually makes it easier now. The second thing someone's trying to call out is that there's too much knee bend. RDLs is a totally subjective exercise in terms of how much knee bend is acceptable or not. For example, I bend my legs a lot less than Piers does, and does he bend his a bit on the more side? Yeah, definitely. It's clear as day that this is a hinging movement, and you can hinge and also have knee bend. Like, two things can be true, and when your torso is moving progressively closer to the ground, it's still classed as a hinge. And then lastly, we've got Bro, who used a hell of a lot of words, and I don't know if I'm just too stupid to understand what he was trying to say in the first place. His point of this not classing as an RDL is because you have to have a neutral spine when you do an RDL, and because Piers' spine was a little bit rounded, then it's classed as... Obviously, in an ideal world, we would love to keep a nice, neutral, straight spine. Now, I can honestly say, in my 14 years of training, not once have I ever heard that an RDL cannot be classed as an RDL because of the spinal position. You've got the obvious question of, well, if it's not an RDL, what is it? Because it's certainly not a deadlift, because the bar doesn't start from the ground. Is it the cleanest and most technically pretty rep in the world? No, of course not. But it's almost 200 kilos. If you don't think this is an RDL, then you're better off taking up high rocks.